Hey guys, so we're ready for our next unit. It is going to be on ancient Greece. So the first thing that we always do when we start a new unit is we start with a map. So you should have received this map from your teacher. If you didn't, you need to get one because we're going to be filling this out today. And this map is just a tiny bit different from the maps that we filled out in the past. There's one thing that we're going to do a little bit differently on this map. And our standard clues us into what that is. Because our standard says, on a historical map of the ancient Mediterranean area, locate Greece and trace boundaries of its influence to 300 BC. On a contemporary map, trace the current boundaries of Greece. So we're tracing two different boundaries, the boundary at 300 BC and the boundary of today on a contemporary map. We're going to compare and contrast the sphere of influence of Greece in those two different areas. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to unpack this standard. Now, we have unpacked these standards with you numerous times before, so I'm expecting you to be able to do this one yourself. We will take a look at it tomorrow when we check over this map and see if you unpacked it correctly. So I'll go ahead and tell you that four colors that you're going to need for this map, and you can use two of those colors to complete this standard. You're going to need blue, red, purple, and yellow. So blue, red, purple, and yellow. Now, you'll also, of course, need your regular pencils. So first thing you're going to do is pick two of those colors, any two that you choose, and unpack this standard. All right, next, you're going to write this on the bottom of your map. So your standard is on the left-hand side of your map. You're going to write this on the right. And I will explain what these are in a few minutes, so just go ahead and make this note. I want you to make the note that Peloponnesus is a peninsula and geographic region in southern Greece. It looks like an old gnarly hand. Do you see it? So if I was going to draw an arrow to that, I would draw an arrow from Peloponnesus. If I'm trying to figure out what it is, this is the old gnarly hand. So this right here is the Peloponnesus. So we're going to go ahead and we'll label it in a minute, but if you want to write that down there, you can. But I definitely want you to put this note at the bottom. Peloponnesus is a peninsula and geographic region in southern Greece. It looks like an old gnarly hand. All right, next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to tell you some information that goes on this map other than just labeling it. So please don't fast forward through this. I don't know why you guys want to fast forward through it anyways. Woo, hang on there. Sorry about that. I'll try to block out any announcements that I can. All right, so you guys don't need to rush through this. You need to listen to this because I'm going to tell you some information that you're going to need to know because you're probably going to take a quiz on this map. And it is not going to just be, hey, can you label the map? It's going to be, hey, did you listen to your teacher when she told you things about this map that you need to know? So please don't fast forward through the video. All right, so most civilizations that we've studied in here, they've all built around a river. I think you know why they've all built around a river. Do you know the answer? If you do, say it quietly. Hopefully, you all said they built around a river because the river was a water source. The water source gave water to the people, the land, the animals, all the vegetation, their crops. It allowed them to farm, everything. You have to live around a water source in order to have a civilization. Well, Greece, their civilization developed around an area that was dominated by mountains and seas. And when I say mountains and seas, you can see how mountainous, way back in here, how mountainous this region is. And when you have little valleys, you will have people who build homes through those valleys. Now this is a present day picture of Greece. But I wanted you to pay close attention to how mountainous and rugged it is. If you were to fly across in a plane, it would be really rugged. You would see beautiful landscapes, you would see beautiful mountains, you would see beautiful seas. But it's a very rugged area. Today, if you were to visit there, you would see homes that were built on the sides of mountains. Now, if you go over to Gatlinburg, you see chalets built on sides of mountains and you don't think much of it. Well, they don't think much of it as well, living on the side of a mountain here. It's just the way that they live. All right, now, we're going to go ahead and start labeling a little bit on this map, and I may break this video into a couple of pieces, so just follow along. All right, the first thing that we're going to label is, since we made that note about the Peloponnesus being a peninsula, we're going to go ahead and label that southern region of Greece. This right here, and you're probably going to want to write where you can write it across there. I don't know if you'll have room to write it or not, but this is the Peloponnesus. Okay, it's this old, gnarly hand. All right, now a Peloponnesus is a peninsula. A peninsula is a piece of land that is surrounded by, on three sides, by bodies of water. If it was completely surrounded by water, it wouldn't be a peninsula, it would be an island. This one is a peninsula because it is connected here to the mainland. All right, so it's not an island, it's a peninsula. All right, we're going to go ahead and mark two important cities on this map. So right here, let me get this off the screen so I have room. Right here where this little point like jets out here, see it there? Okay, just below that, we are going to, or sorry, yes, just below that, we're going to put a little dot there. This is Olympia. Now, several of you have probably heard of Olympia. Some of you can probably even tell me something about Olympia. Okay, we're going to be talking about that more. But this is Olympia, and then we're going to come down here to where this, we have like the little gnarly fingers. Well, we're going to go right about here. This is Sparta. Some of you probably know a lot about Sparta. Some of you probably like to read books or watch movies about Sparta. Okay, we're going to be studying Sparta as well. All right. Since we're at the Peloponnesus and we talked about it being a peninsula surrounded by three bodies of water, let's go ahead and mark those three bodies of water. All right, to the, which way do I want to start? Let's start on the west. To the west is the Ionian Sea. Okay, so we have the Ionian Sea. To the south, we have the Mediterranean Sea. And to the east, we have the Aegean Sea. And we can put that, we're actually going to put that in two places. We're going to put Aegean Sea here. And just so you see it, this is the Aegean Sea as well. So we have the Ionian Sea in the west, the Mediterranean Sea to the south, and we have the Aegean Sea to the east. And this is a Peloponnesus, or the Peloponnesus is a peninsula because it is still connected to the mainland right here. So if it weren't, it would be an island because it would be completely surrounded by water. But because it isn't, and it's still connected to the mainland, it is a peninsula. All right. Now, we're going to go ahead and label Greece. This is Greece. And we're going to be studying a lot about Greece. Now, one of you, or several, not one of you, several of you, may know that there is a very important and specific mountain, especially if you know your Greek gods and goddesses, then you should know that there is a certain place that they believe these gods and goddesses live. That is, do you know it? If you do, whisper it. If you said Mount Olympus, you are correct. So we are going to put Mount Olympus right about here, and we are going to label it Mount Olympus. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and put a map key on here. You can put it down the side, you can put it wherever you have room. All right, we're going to label this mountains. All right, we're going to do a box here, and we're going to shade it in blue. And that's going to be, ooh, that is not blue. What is that doing? Come on, man. All right, we're going to shade it in blue, and that's going to be water. And we're going to have several bodies of water. We have the Ionian Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, the Aegean Sea. So you might want to, well, no, we won't start those because hopefully that you can see. Well, let's add bodies of water. That way you know that there's more than just, hey, it's water. What kind of water? I don't know. Where is this? Hopefully you'll know. All right, so we've got Greece labeled. We've got the Peloponnesus labeled. We've got Olympia. We've got Sparta. All right, we've got the Ionian Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, the Aegean Sea. We have Mount Olympus labeled now. So now we're going to label 2 more cities in Greece. And they're pretty, well, on the map they appear very close to each other. We are going to label, let me see here, Athens. All right, so let me switch this back. So there's a little island. It's kind of hard to see on your map, but it's right here. So on the mainland of Greece, right here, we're going to label this and put a mark there, Athens. So go ahead and put little circles over here and put cities of Greece as part of your map, Kitty. All right. All right. So we have Athens. Clear this out. We have cities of Greece. All right, and we're going to mark another city on here. It is north of Athens, and it's going to be right about, I'm going to put it right about here. And this is Thebes. I think you've heard of another Thebes before. Can you see how I spelled that? That should be a B. T-E-B-E-S, Thebes. I think you've heard of another city called Thebes before. Well, we also have Thebes in ancient Greece. Now, we're also going to label an island. That island is one you've heard of before, because if you've not noticed, you're in the Mediterranean Sea here. Okay? So we're in the Mediterranean Sea, all through here. We enter the Aegean Sea here. We have the Ionian Sea here. And then we have the, Mediterranean, sorry, 3. All right, so we're going to label a little island that you've heard me talk about before, and that is Crete. So this little island is labeled Crete. And all of this big body of land over here, this is Asia Minor. All right, so let's double check that you have everything labeled that you should. You should have Greece, Sparta, Olympia, Peloponnesus, Thebes, Athens, Mount Olympus, the Aegean Sea, Asia Minor, Ionian Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and Crete. Now, we're probably going to mark the boundaries a little bit differently, but we're going to go ahead and color in the areas that we need to color in. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to use your blue to shade in water. Now, there's quite a bit of water here, so I know everybody always complains about right in here and right in here, okay, trying to go around all those areas and not drown those people on those poor little tiny islands that are right in there. Yeah, do the best that you can do. All right, so we're going to start, let's see if I can bump this down a little bit. I'm going to start right here. All right, and I'm going to shade in. I'm going to actually draw around here, this border here of my page in blue, because all of this, and yeah, I'm going to do a terrible job. These poor little people here are getting drowned. Yeah. So you do a better job than me because this really stinks. All right, this also is body of water. This is also a body of water. And I'm going to color this in. Okay, so like this is probably the most hideous and horrible coloring I have ever done. But trying to do this with a Promethean board and a stylus on a map that's tiny, and I've got 5 gazillion little islands in there, it's terrible. I know, it's terrible. So, yeah, you do a better job. And if it helps to know, I will show you on my map what it looks like when it's done neatly on a piece of paper and not this thing. Alright, so I'm going to actually clear this off because it looks so bad I can't stand to look at it anymore. Yeah, okay. So, anyways. Alright, so should have all your water colored in. That's all of this area, all around here, right through here, up into the Aegean Sea, up into here, into the Mediterranean Sea, over into the Ionian Sea, all that. And I know it's impossible to color around all these little islands and things, but if you've got one that's kind of bigger like this one or these, try to not get blue in those. These little tiny dots like here, that's impossible. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to switch to red, and we're going to color in our land, but we're going to be very careful about how we do this because we're not going to mark or color everything. All the land is not going to be colored. So you know what? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the video here. We're going to go ahead, let's do this much. Go ahead and put 2 more boxes on your map key, and I want you to color one of them in red, just solid red, and I want you to take the other one, I want you to take your purple that you were going to have, and I want you to stripe it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mark our map key. This is going to be Greece today, and the purple is going to be ancient Greece. And your standard said, I think, specifically 300 BC. Alright, so when you get that done and you get those last 2 little things done, stop that video and we're going to do a separate video that breaks up those boundaries. Okay, see you bye. Well, actually, see you in a few minutes.